Welcome back to another edition of Arizona Wildcats Insiders Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Hutchison, and we will be getting you geared up for Arizona versus Houston. Today, the Wildcats kick off against the Houston Cougars on the road in an early morning, very early morning, 9 a.m. kickoff. Now, Arizona's coming off of a not underwhelming, but heartbreaking performance against then number 18 BYU, where the Wildcats were leading 24-14. About 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the Cougars came roaring back, tied the game with 19 seconds left, and instead of going for at least a couple shots downfield, a couple quick passes, Arizona and Coach Brent Brennan decide to kneel, play for overtime, and there, double overtime, Arizona fell to the Cougars, 33-27, a 4th down and 5, 4 verts into the end zone from about the 8-yard line, and Nova Fida threw an incomplete pass to Javion Watley in the left corner of the end zone. Again, a lot of things to digest there with the decision-making of kneeling on with 19 seconds, the play calling, the possession before going run, pass, and how that worked out, and Nova Fida's decision-making in that game and in that moment wasn't great. Again, overtime, the holding calls back a touchdown. It really felt if Arizona got that touchdown, they were going to win that game, and they just couldn't get that touchdown in the first overtime. They lose in double overtime. BYU continues its undefeated streak so far. They sit at 6-0. Wildcats fall to 4-2. But I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, it hurts if you're a U of A fan. But in the grand scheme of things, did you expect Arizona to win that game? If you're being honest with yourself, you're going to say no. You didn't expect Arizona to win that game. In fact, you were hoping the game was just close. So they battled back, and they're two wins away from a bowl game. I have Arizona going 7-5. They're in perfect position to go 7-5, 6-6. Maybe a surprising 8-4, but I really can't see that happening this season. But they're still in very good position in what is a mediocre Big 12. Outside of Texas Tech and BYU, no offense to Cincinnati, the Big 12 is pretty watered down. It's not very good. So have that into account. Have into account how we've seen progression defensively for Arizona and also the development of the offense. I know it's been up and down, and Arizona fans complain. It's still a lot better than what you saw last year with Dino Babers. It's a good system. The execution needs to be worked on from the players, but it's a very good system. So as you roll into Houston, the Houston Cougars, yes, they're 5-1, but they struggled against Oklahoma State, allowed 17 points to a backup quarterback at Oklahoma State. Won, I think, 38 or 39-17, where they pulled away in the fourth quarter. That's not good. And then on the road earlier in the year against Oregon State, Oregon State's one of the worst football teams in the country. They're an absolute mediocrity. Not even mediocrity. They're an absolute dumpster fire. They're 0-6. And it took an incredible comeback from Houston to put that game into overtime where the Cougars went on to win. You needed overtime to be an 0-6 Oregon State team. That's complete crap. It's a complete crap football team. That's a problem. You had your ups and downs against West Virginia. You won it comfortably, but there were moments. So as you look at, and then again, the one loss is Texas Tech. And to be quite honest with you, to be 100% honest and transparent here, Texas Tech is the best football team in this conference. Texas Tech is going to compete for a national title. So losing 25-11 to Texas Tech, who cares? That's a tough game. So I will give them credit for that. However, overall, this is not a good Houston team sitting at 5-1. It might be one of the weakest 5-1 football teams in the country, because they could easily easily be 3-2 or 2-3. This is not a good Houston Cougars team. And I said 2-3. I mean 3-2, but that would have been 4-2 or 3-3. I got the math correctly there, so excuse me. But no, it's not a good football team. Offensively, they struggle, and I know Arizona's had their struggles offensively, but Houston's offense looks inept and high school-like at times. Just to be flat out honest. Offensively, they're a very good football team. They have good edge rushers. They have solid linebackers, and they can cover. The head coach at Houston has done a terrific job there, but it's still a work in progress. It's still trying to get Houston football to where they think it could be. You're in a mecca of football. You have all the money pouring into that stadium. They did a great job with the renovations there. The basketball program is rolling. You're in the Big 12. Houston football should be a good program. And they're trying to get back there, but they're not quite there yet. And Arizona isn't quite there yet. That we are far away from the 2023 Arizona Wildcats or anything close to that. Anything close to that. And that 2023 team, I think it's the best Wildcat team since 1998. I do. So you're a long way away from that. However, Saturday morning, it's going to be a gritty game for a while. I think Arizona's going to try to run the football, bleed as much time of possession as possible. If you look at Arizona's defense, they have great edge rushers. The linebackers can cover in space. And the secondary is the best secondary in the Big 12 and one of the top 10 in the country. It's an elite level secondary. I think this Houston offense is going to get wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. Now, it's on the road. Last time I looked, Arizona was a 1.5 favorite. Hammer that. They cover. They're going to win. But I love Arizona in this game. And you have a pissed off Arizona team. You have a pissed off Brent Brennan. You have a pissed off Seth Dagey. You have a pissed off Danny Gonzalez. You have a pissed off defense. You have a pissed off Noah Fafita. This seems like a game where Arizona is going to want to make a statement. And I could see the Wildcats running the ball at will. Because you have a very good line on the Arizona side of the field, offensive line. That's in a bad mood right now. And then for Houston, yes, it's a good defensive line. Offensive line, this is why I brought up Arizona's pass rush. That's one of the worst offensive lines in the conference. The average blitz rate, the pressure that they allow on their quarterbacks is insane. So, with that being said, I got Arizona dog walking Houston. I think it's going to be close, maybe at half, but I think over time, Arizona should just wear them down, put them away, and have this thing locked up midway through the fourth quarter. I got the Wildcats going into Houston, beating the Cougars 38-17. And to be honest, I almost said 42-17. But we're going to go 38-17. Arizona gets that fifth win of the season, putting them one win closer to bowl eligibility. Houston takes that second loss of the season. Both teams leave the game 5-2. The Wildcats set up to go on the road to Colorado after the bye week. And you guys, for as much crap as Brent Brennan and his staff get, last year they were 4-8. This year they've gotten 4 wins. They will be going to a bowl game. You're seeing progression from year 1 to year 2. Year 3 is going to be pretty damn good. Give them time. Stop panicking. Calm down. And first of all, bowl games should be great because you know what? If you can average 8 wins in Tucson, 7 to 8 wins, and every now and then win 10 to 11 to 12 games, they're going to build a statue of you. That's the reality of it. So, Arizona goes into Houston. They walk away with a 38-17 game. I expect a big, big game from the running back room for Arizona. Kedrick Reesano, we'll say, goes over 100, and Ishmael Mahdi rushes for about 85 yards and a touchdown. I think those two backs are going to kill the Houston Cougars. And defensively, my player to watch for the game is going to be Chase Anderson. I think he's going to get into the backfield, get a couple sacks, and it's going to be a big day for the outside linebacker. Be sure to follow our website, Arizona Wildcats on SI. Follow our Twitter account at Arizona Wildcats on SI. Or follow me, Troy Hutchison at THutch1995. We'll see you next time.